Greetings. Hope this day finds you safe, healthy, happy, and thriving. And wherever you are, whatever you're doing, you're just simply living your best life. This is the New Thought Media Network. I'm Ken Ludwig. You are watching Vibrant Living. And we're going to start the show as we do every single day with this thing called you randomly opening the book to a page where we have a very, very, very long quote. Looks like it goes to the next page even. It's one that I actually have highlighted in here. So this should be a good one. I think it's mostly about faith. So here we go. I know that the Spirit within me goes before me, making perfect, plain, straight, easy, and happy the pathway of my experience. There is nothing in me that can obstruct the divine circuits of life, of love, of beauty, and truth. My word dissolves every negative thought or impulse that would throw a shadow of unbelief across the threshold of my expectation. Today I have faith that my word shall not return unto me void. I surrender myself completely to this faith. My prayer then is one of affirmation and acceptance. I lift my cup of acceptance, knowing that the divine outpouring will fill it to the brim. Today, I consciously identify myself with everything that belongs to goodness, to truth, and to beauty. I identify myself with abundance and success. I identify myself with the living spirit, with all the power, all the presence, and all the life there is. Wow, how awesome is that? That is absolutely a declaration of faith. There's no two ways about that. Love that quote. And it was, the subject I wanted to talk about today was prayer treatment. Basically the most important mental tool of all science of mind practitioners. And I don't mean licensed practitioners. I was a licensed practitioner with the Centers for Spiritual Living for 14 years. Kind of relinquished that when I moved from Colorado to North Carolina. I mean anyone who practices the science of mind, anyone who practices metaphysics. We all know that the spiritual mind treatment is one of our greatest tools. And that quote that I just read from Holmes, that really speaks to, I think, the most important part of treatment, which is to just simply believe, to know always that my word will not return unto me void, that my thought is God thought, and it is literally the law unto that thing whereunto it is spoken, as Holmes says in another treatment in the Science of Mind textbook. And it's something I think we can get a little bit lackadaisical about. And I guess I'm bringing it up because I had gotten lackadaisical about it. I had gotten very kind of nonchalant. I had gotten very informal, if you will, where I just kind of gathered everybody together, and those who are in need of prayer are blessed by my thought, and I just kind of put them all in one jumble there. But it's more important to be using treatment for specific purposes, which Holmes is very, very clear about in the textbook, and I'll point that out here in a minute. But the thing that I have gotten of late is the idea that I need to be specific. Pardon the cut finger. I need to be specific. I need to be clear. I need to be absolutely certain to the core of my being that my word I have faith in, that it is the word of God expressing itself as me, and that, as I said, my thought is God thought, and that it is the law, and the law responds to everyone in equal measure. And the thing is that if I say I believe, but in my thoughts, I'm like, I don't know why I'm doing this treatment because they don't always work. Well, it's going to prove to you that it works by not working. So it's an important piece of the science of mind. It's an important piece of mental work. It's an important piece of keeping ourselves centered and keeping ourselves alert and aware of what it is we're here to do, what it is we're trying to accomplish when we do our prayer work. It is not something that is just to be taken, again, informally and nonchalantly, as I mentioned I was doing. It's important to be focused. I told you, I think a while back, that I have taken on the practice of, in my meditation in the morning, I read from 4 different inspirational kind of books. I read from affirmations and lessons from the Unitarian Universalist tradition on recovery, and just someone at the UU Church here in Winston-Salem gave it to me. The woman who's in charge of membership or whatever she does, that she gave it to me because she heard that I was, in conversation, she heard that I was 36 years sober. And so she gave me that book to use. And I'm reading it not because I need any kind of reinforcement of recovery, because I don't consider myself in recovery. I consider myself totally recovered. 36 years is a long freaking time to be in recovery. So I read from that. I read from Science of Mind 365, which is Ernest Holmes' daily treatments. And I read from the Daily Stoic, which is also a similar kind of book to Science of Mind 365, but its contents are all regarding Stoicism. It's a quote from one of the Stoics, Epictetus, Marcus Aurelius, and then a lesson from his fellow Ryan Holiday, who wrote the book. And then the fourth thing I read from is the Science of Mind textbook. And what I've been doing is reading every day. I read something from those first 4 introductory chapters. The ones that are they're actually, are they each given a Roman numeral or aren't they? I thought they were, but it looks like maybe that's not true in my book here. There's the foreword by Gene Houston. I don't want that. No, but the first 4 chapters are the thing itself, the way it works, what it does, and how to use it. And it's a total of 60 pages, 35 pages, I believe it is. And what I have been focused on of late is the last, excuse me, the last 3 pages or 4 pages of the last part of it, how to use it. Because it gives very, very distinct instructions, if you will. Instructions isn't the right word. It gives you distinct inspiration on how we're supposed to use it. I'm sorry, I'm shaking the table here. I don't mean to do that. The idea is, I'm sorry. I'm just babbling here because I'm trying to find what I wanted to say at the same time I'm talking. So here's what Holmes writes as a treatment in that last section. It's kind of long, but bear with me because I think it's really important. I am a center in the divine mind, a point of God-conscious life, truth, and action. My affairs are divinely guided and guarded into right action, into correct results. Everything I do, say, or think is stimulated by the truth. There is power in this word that I speak because it is of the truth and it is the truth. There is perfect and continuous right action in my life and my affairs. All belief in wrong action is dispelled and made negative. Right action alone has power, and right action is power, and power is God, the living Spirit Almighty. This Spirit animates everything that I do, say, or think. Ideas come to me daily, and these ideas are divine ideas. They direct me and sustain me without effort. I am continuously directed. I am compelled to do the right thing at the right time, to say the right word at the right time, to follow the right course at all times. All suggestions of age, poverty, limitation, or unhappiness is uprooted from my mind and cannot gain entrance to my thought. Excuse me. I am happy, well, and filled with perfect light. I live in the spirit of truth and am conscious that the spirit of truth lives in me. My word is the law unto its own manifestation and will bring to me or cause me to be brought to its fulfillment. There is no unbelief, no doubt, no uncertainty. I know, and I know that I know. Let every thought of doubt vanish from my mind, that I may know the truth, and the truth may make me free. That's to me, that's one of the most important pieces in this first section of the Science of Mind textbook. I love that particular quote, it's not really a treatment. It's just Holmes has it in quotations, and I read it. I've been reading that every morning for like a week, and I really, really love how it translates into the idea of how to use it, which is that part of the book where it is in those introductory chapters in the front of the Science of Mind textbook. It is the knowledge to know that I know that my word has power, that my word is the creative juice of the universe, if you will. You know, in the Bible, it says in the beginning was the word. The word is just thought. It is that volitional creative piece of consciousness. It is what the divine makes use of in the creation of all that is creation. And we are imbued with the ability to make use of that via the spiritual mind treatment. So just a silly review, if you will. It is the first thing is, oh my God. First thing is recognition, recognizing that there is only the one life. There is only that spirit that imbues each and every one of us with our existence. It is that force, that energy in, around, and through all creation. As I love to say, there's all the great religions talk about God is everywhere. In metaphysics, I think we translate it a little bit more in the sense of there is no place where God is not, which sounds a little bit more to me like including every space between every cell of my body. Where God is everywhere is kind of everywhere is out here. No place where God is not is within and around and through everything. And to be clear that energy, that creative force is something that I can make use of, allows me the ability to recognize that that's what it is, that it is all that there is. It is the overarching creative intelligence of the universe. And then the next piece of treatment is unification. And unification is really the idea of I absolutely am one with that energy. In fact, I am an individuation of that one energy, that one spirit, and I am it expressing itself as me into the universe. The next thing is realization. Realization is the piece that I was always taught, and I truly believe that those first two pieces of treatment are the most important: recognition and unification. To know that oneness, to know that I am one with that oneness, that I am it, and that the people or situation or circumstances that I am treating for, about, to enhance, to deny, whatever I am treating is also a part of that oneness. To know that and to speak that realization into the world of the oneness of the existence of the perfect situation, circumstances, health, healing, whatever it is that I'm treating for, to be able to associate that with that oneness, and to recognize also that spirit, that oneness, that God that is no place where God is not. It doesn't know negative. It doesn't know about disease. It only knows about health. And health can be either good or bad, depending on where we are. It can be, that we get to judge that, or we get to decide that, our lifestyle gets to create it. But that source within us, all around us, is what we make use of in order to decide who and what we are bringing into the light of the oneness in order to improve circumstances, to change circumstances, to continue great circumstances, to improve health, be it our own or someone else's. But it always has to be in the context of the oneness of all life, and that overarching creative intelligence is a piece of that, or the deciding piece, if you will. Once we've done that, once we have made that realization, the next piece, of course, is gratitude, is to give thanks, and to just be thankful to know that our word is powerful, to be thankful to know that the word we have spoken in this instance has power over all the circumstances and conditions with which we're speaking about, and to know that the word that I have spoken is already done. To be grateful for that. And then the final piece is release. And that is just to simply let it go into the universe, and let the universe take that word and let the law of the universe create the circumstances. Now, do we get instantaneous results? No. And I've heard many people talk about the idea there's a reason why we don't get instantaneous results. A lot of those would be in those moments when our thoughts are not so positive, especially directed at another human. Maybe we're glad that our thoughts are not instantaneously translated into the reality of our lives, especially if we're kind of not wishing good upon someone else, if you will. But Holmes is very clear around the idea that if you are treating for something, let's just take an example, you're treating for your own health. If there is no demonstration immediately, that doesn't mean it failed. It doesn't mean the infinite intelligence is not listening or working. The law works 100% of the time for everyone in equal measure. There is no differentiation between you and me. The law is not a respecter of persons, as Holmes likes to say. It is totally, totally independent of each and every one of us and totally objective. And what we need to do is continue to treat whatever it is we're treating for until there is a demonstration. And again, it's very, very clear in the Science of Mind textbook that all of the work of the practitioner is done in the mind of the practitioner. I'm not changing anything external to me. I'm changing me. I'm changing my acceptance. I'm changing my realization. I'm changing my perception of the reality that I think I perceive. And in doing that, then that reality follows the thought. If the thought is clear and filled with faith, and if it's done for the purposes of the good of myself and everyone around me, then we should expect a demonstration always, 100% of the time. But again, we keep demonstrating, keep treating until there is a demonstration. So that's pretty much what I had for you today. The only other thing I wanted to talk about was just we're at a time in history, I think, where so many of us are wrestling with who we support, what we look upon favorably, and is it in alignment with who we are? And the only thing I wanted to point out was, are you a person of integrity or are you not? Am I a person of integrity or am I not? And I always prefer, we can list all the God qualities that we would attribute to integrity, truthfulness, honesty, compassion, kindness, non-judgmentalism, all those things. But I like the more architectural definitions of integrity. Nothing missing from the whole. And the whole would be everything and anything that we might consider to be that of an integral person. And the universe makes no differentiation or makes no determination, if you will, of the degrees of integrity, because there are none. I either am a person of integrity or I am not. And I think that rarely is anyone a person of integrity 24/7, 365. I am in and out of integrity. But the more time I can spend in integrity, the more time I can spend in that space of nothing missing from the whole, where I am integral with myself, with my surroundings, with my spirit, with the overarching creative intelligence of the universe, and with my environment. If I am integral with that, meaning, again, nothing missing from the whole, and I am a piece of that whole, if I can occupy that space, then in that moment, I am a person of integrity. When I step outside of that, I am no longer a person of integrity because, again, there are no degrees of integrity. Just a thought. I think it's a time in history where we can look at each other and we can determine in how I look at you and how you look at me. The way I look at you will really tell me whether or not I'm in integrity or not, and vice versa. I can't determine if you're in integrity. I can certainly determine when somebody has no integrity. I mean, those are pretty obvious. But anyway, that's it for today. That's all I got for you. I, as always, appreciate the great gift of your time and your attention. Before we go there, though, let's talk about where we are right now. This is the New Thought Media Network, and we live and breathe by virtue of your generosity and your donations. Please go to ntmedia.org. That's newthoughtmedia.org. ntmedia.org. Click on donate. You will make nothing but happy campers at New Thought Media Network by the generosity of your contribution. We are always very, very, very grateful. This show is brought to you by HempWorks, makers of hemp-infused coffee, 5 milligrams of CBD in every cup of coffee, along with some chocolate mushrooms. This stuff, I love this coffee. I'm a coffee snob. I can mix this with my regular coffee that I drink all the time, all day, or not all day. I can't drink coffee all day anymore. As the years pass, less and less ability to do that. But I can drink this in the afternoon, mixed with my own coffee, and it does not keep me awake. It's soothing. It's tasty. It just works really, really well. And the most important piece of HempWorks to me is our CBD tinctures. We have a whole line of CBD infused products for your pets, for your skin, for your scalp, for everything you can imagine that you can use for CBD for your health. We have, but the tinctures are hugely important to me from the standpoint of helping to promote homeostasis in the human body. And CBD it's not designed for that. It accomplishes that via the receptors on almost every single cell of your body for CBD. We have both broad spectrum and full spectrum. Full spectrum is got that legal limit of 0.3% THC, tetrahydrocannabinol, which is that's the stuff that gets you high. You cannot have more than 0.3% in your tincture and have it be legal across the United States. If you are someone who is allergic to THC, a rare allergy to that, some people do. It's very, very rare, but it does happen. And if you're someone who has to take a very serious drug test for work, then we have the broad spectrum, which has no THC in it whatsoever. So literally, there is nothing for your drug test to detect. 3 different concentrations, 500, 750, and 1,500 milligrams, and more flavors than I can keep track of anymore. Just the absolute best plant medicine for your health on the planet, without doubt. If you want to reach me, you can send me an email, teamrocketnow@gmail.com. You can find me if you want on Instagram. I don't know why you would do that because I haven't done much on Instagram in a very long time, but evolving_hippie is me at Instagram. And of course, HempWorks, you can find hempworks.com/Ken Ludwig. Will take you right there for the CBD products, but also HempWorks is part of the house of brands known as mydailychoice.com. Also /Ken Ludwig will take you to the HempWorks brand in there, as well as 30 some odd other brands, diverse brands, that everything you can imagine. And the goal of My Daily Choice is to be the Amazon of network marketing. So there you go, of affiliate marketing, I should say. That's about it. I don't see anything else here that of course, you can find Lisa and I, my beloved Lisa and I, at our branded Facebook page, Vibrant Aging, which of course goes hand in hand with Vibrant Living, which you're watching right this very minute. Let's put the email address up there, and the New Thought Media donate is up there again. I am immensely grateful for the great gift of your time and your attention. I wish you all the love and blessings in the world. I hope you will join me every Thursday at 2:00 Mountain Time and 4:00 Eastern Time, and for just another edition of Vibrant Living. But until the next time, my friends, namaste.